It is Thursday, June 18, 2026, and this is The High Road, Logistics and Leadership. I'm Jules Sterling, and I keep the contracts from crumbling when the rubber hits the road.
This is Dan Miller.
I'm Elena Rossi.
Buck Reynolds speaking, and we have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we really dug into that fragile stabilization and the logistics costs, plus that nervous front-loading we're seeing at the ports. We were all a bit rattled by the SPR running on fumes and those Harbor Freight lighting kits being a total liability bomb. But today, we're shifting gears into how we actually keep the fleet moving.
Well, we better be moving, because it is the heart of National Technician Appreciation Week.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, the ATA says we've got over 57,000 diesel mechanics out there now. And honestly, that's more than any other industry in the country. Here's the play. These guys are the literal backbone of the economy.
It sort of feels like maintenance is finally getting the respect it deserves, right? I mean, it's not just oil changes anymore. Well, it's about circular maintenance and uptime.
Look, it's a high-stakes chess game now. Bottom line, the tech is getting so complex that you can't just have a guy with a wrench. You see these Vista finals coming up?
Actually, if I may, those Volvo World Service Championships are proving that North American teams from Texas and Manitoba are world class. But my thing is the training pipeline for the new breed.
Well, okay. You mean like the USA Truck announcement?
Exactly. You see, they just launched this military apprenticeship program with Fastport. It's a 2-year track. And the brilliance of it is the financial bridge.
I like this.
It's a touchdown. Look, these veterans can draw their full pay plus $1,600 a month tax-free in housing allowance while they're in the program. That solves the income dip that usually kills driver recruitment.
It's sort of building that human relationship before they even hit the road, right?
Exactly. But look, once they're on the road, the way they get freight is changing too. Robinson just dropped Bid Board X, and this isn't just another load board. This is Lean AI expansion. They're targeting double-digit productivity gains for 2026.
Okay.
Bottom line, it allows carriers to bid on committed lanes for a whole year. Instead of hunting the spot market every morning, a small fleet can lock in 400 loads annually in one shot.
Wait, Dan, are you telling me the computer is just handing out year-long contracts now?
Look, it's about removing the friction. If you've got the capacity and the safety score, Robinson wants to lock you in. It gets you out of the transactional chaos and into contractual certainty.
Right, but does that limit the flexibility of the brokers?
Oh, I'm sure they're crying all the way to the bank. No, look, it actually stabilizes their supply. They aren't scrambling to cover loads at the last minute.
Unless the border shuts down. Actually, that leads us into the mess with the USMCA review.
Oh, right. The July 1st deadline.
You see, we're at a make-or-break moment. Yesterday, President Trump signaled he might not renew the pact for 16 years. He's talking about annual reviews instead, which is basically a state of constant renegotiation.
That's a nightmare for planning.
It is a catastrophe for logistics. My thing is, we've got $1.6 trillion in trilateral trade at risk. The U.S. is pushing for 50% specific U.S. content in vehicles, not just regional. It's a decoupling from China via the back door of Mexico.
It sort of sounds like brinkmanship at the border, right? I mean, my retail clients are already asking if they need to hedge against a total trade freeze.
I mean, we're spending $4 billion on the Barstow Gateway to move those containers. And now the diplomats might stop him at the gate?
Look, BNSF is still full steam ahead on that, the Barstow City Council just gave the final green light yesterday.
BIG, the big bet.
It's the High Desert Revolution, 4,500 acres. They're going to take the boxes straight from the ships at LA and Long Beach, put them on trains through the Alameda Corridor, and sort them in Barstow. It bypasses all that Inland Empire truck congestion.
Okay.
Bottom line, it eliminates over 200 million truck miles by 2028. That is a massive operational shift for West Coast logistics.
Before we get into the autonomous NASCAR gear and the Fed's hawkish pause, we need to talk about the folks behind the scenes.
Actually, you're right. You see, strategic logistics requires world-class engineering.
Look, this show is actually powered by the stack developed by Eric Christensen at Neural Network Media. He's the architect behind the code. Bottom line, we wouldn't be on the air without the tech he's built.
Well, if you want to support the engineer who makes this happen, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Neural Network Media. It gives you a free trial and access to the daily briefing PDF, which, honestly, is how I keep my own team from falling apart, right?
It's the real deal playbook. Support the architect, folks.
Okay, back to the tech that's actually on the pavement. Did you guys see Kratos just finished a cross-country autonomous platooning run?
NASCAR gear, right?
Right. From Charlotte all the way to San Diego. It was the leader-follower system. They had a human-driven truck leading an autonomous follower.
Was there a safety rider in the second rig?
Well, yes. But Kratos says they're moving from experimental to scalable commercial execution now.
Oh, great. Because nothing says safety like an 80,000-pound ghost truck following a race car.
I mean, the thing is, if that follower truck loses the link, what happens? I've seen enough glitches to know that scalable usually just means the mistakes happen faster.
Look, the Fed might be moving slower than that truck. Kevin Warsh had his first meeting as chair yesterday. They held the rates at 3.5 to 3.75. But the dot plot is hawkish.
It sort of sounds like higher for longer is the new normal, right?
Exactly. 9 of 18 officials project another rate hike this year. And with May retail sales up 0.9%, the consumer just isn't slowing down. PPI is hot at 6.5%.
So carriers are getting squeezed on debt costs, while their operating costs are still surging.
It's a hawkish squeeze, Elena. The carriers are exiting the market because they can't bridge the gap.
Now it's time for From the Sleeper Cab, our Thursday segment where we talk about what's actually happening down in the grease and the grit. Look, I've seen a lot of fancy tech come and go in 3 million miles, but there's one rule that never changes. The wheels have to stay on the truck.
That's a good rule, Buck.
Right now, if you're sitting in certain late-model Mac or Volvo iron, you might be driving a ticking time bomb. I mean, we're not talking about a software patch. We're talking about the wheels falling off on the highway.
This was the masking material issue?
Exactly. During the painting process, they left masking stickers on the axle hubs, and they bolted the wheels right over them. I mean, it matches the hub profile, so the inspectors didn't see it. But as that material gets hot and compressed under the load, the lug nuts lose their torque.
All right.
Next thing you know, your steer tire's visiting the neighbor's yard while you're doing 70. It's a do not drive grounding for about 800 units. If you're a driver, check your VIN today.
Is that the only grounded tech we're worried about?
Well, I mean, the thing is, the FMCSA just finished the big ELD purge. 12 devices are officially off the list. 888 ELD, Dragon, Action, they're gone.
And the Hero ELD grace period is over too, right?
Done as of June 2nd. Safety officials aren't doing educational enforcement anymore. If you're caught running one of those revoked units, they're going to put you out of service at the scale house. I mean, that's a forced vacation you can't afford.
Here's the play. Get the hardware swapped now before the shipping backlog for compliant units gets worse.
Right. And if you want some tech that actually helps, look at what Netrodyne is doing with these AI agents. I mean, instead of just gotcha videos for the manager, the camera gives the driver a real-time nudge for following distance. It's acting as a co-pilot, not just a snitch.
I suppose that reduces the liability of having a distracted manager.
I mean, it just makes sense. From the sleeper cab, that's a wrap.
While we're on the subject of liability, we need to talk about the border expansion with Echo Global Logistics and UPS.
Look, Mexico is the new frontier. Echo just announced they're doing full intra-Mexico solutions now, not just cross-border, but city-to-city within the country.
It's sort of a one-stop shop for the nearshoring boom, right?
Bottom line, UPS is putting $50 million into heavy air freight down there, too. 1 to 3 day delivery for industrial components. They're building the infrastructure for the trade, regardless of the politics.
Well, the thieves are following the money to Mexico, too. Actually, my thing is this $1.7 million heist that just went down.
Oh, the one with the, protective gear?
Exactly. 103,000 units of one-branded condoms and lubricants stolen en route to Walmart.
That's a lot of inventory to move.
It's a cyber-enabled strategic theft, Dan. You see, the criminals didn't use a crowbar. They used a phishing attack to steal a legitimate carrier's digital credentials.
Okay.
Then they posted as that carrier on the DAT load board. They hired 2 actual independent drivers. Mid-transit, they contacted those drivers and told them to redirect the load to a warehouse in the Bronx.
Wait, so the drivers thought they were just doing their job?
Exactly. The drivers got paid, the scammers vanished with the $1 million load, and now the FBI has recovered zero. You see, this is why the Supreme Court just stepped in with the Montgomery v. Caribe ruling.
Explain that, because that's the hammer drop for brokers, right?
Right. For years, brokers used the F4A law to say they couldn't be sued in state court for negligent hiring. They said federal law protected them. But Justice Amy Coney Barrett just wrote that selecting a carrier is a safety function.
Right. So now, if a broker hires a carrier with a bad safety score and they get into an accident,
the broker is liable. You see, the liability shield is gone. It is the end of cheap and risky in the brokerage world. They are now terrified. And that's why they're petitioning the FMCSA for a high-risk carrier list.
I mean, it's about time. If you're going to make the money on the freight, you better know who's hauling it.
Look, it's a technology war. The thieves are using AI to forge bills of lading that look perfect. And then you've got these summer surges in theft. The FBI says the average value per heist is up to nearly $274,000.
right.
Bottom line, if you're a broker and you don't have a deep tech vetting process now, you're one bad load away from bankruptcy.
It's sort of a perfect storm, right? You have higher interest rates making the cargo more valuable to hold.
Okay.
You have digital boards that are vulnerable to ID theft, and now you have a Supreme Court ruling that makes the broker liable if anything goes wrong. I mean, how does a mid-sized broker even stay in business with that much risk?
They have to join these massive carrier vetting standards, or they have to join the new CAVRA standard. You see, we're moving toward a world where you have to be pre-certified in a private network.
Exactly.
The open boards might be dying because the risk of a single condom heist-style fraud is just too high for a balance sheet to handle.
I mean, look at the leadership change at the PMTC. Angela Munsterman is the new chairwoman there, and her whole message is technology beyond compliance.
Like practical AI for private fleets?
Exactly, because the graphics on the side of the truck look great, but if the computer in the cab is getting hacked, you're just delivering for free.
Look, bottom line, the industry is professionalizing under pressure, and we're seeing the winners start to separate from the pack.
Well, that's all for today's High Road Logistics and Leadership. We really went deep on the cyber theft crisis and that Supreme Court liability shift. It's a whole new world for brokers and carriers alike, so keep your credentials locked down.
Later.
Bye.
Peace out.
Keep the shiny side up, folks.